Welcome in to the 32nd episode of the Southern Boy Sports Podcast. My name is Drew alongside my co-host Ben Clay.
What's going on, guys?
Episode 32. We are back. It is February. We've been off, man. Been a lot to talk about. Eventually in this episode, we'll be talking about the futures of a couple teams. We did a poll on Twitter, a poll on Instagram. We wanted to see what the viewers and the listeners and the followers were thinking. And they all decided collectively between two social media platforms that Tennessee and Oklahoma were going to take the reins here. So we've got the YouTube thumbnail behind us, which I guess could be redundant. If you clicked on the video, now you're seeing the thumbnail.
Yeah, we decided on you're back
as well. So yeah, I mean, nifty technology for me here. But Ben, man, we were in Orlando, so I guess we can talk about that a lot. Not a ton of talk about this episode. Obviously, we want to get to the meat and bone of this episode. But I think we can trail off, talk about a couple different things. And Ben, I'll let you start just this past week, and then we'll talk about our trip to down to Florida.
Yeah. Well, back to school is just like terrible. But yeah, we've been doing some good baseball stuff. Had tryouts today. So that was fun, and so I'm looking forward to getting into the good part of the season and starting up.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the tryouts went decent enough.
All right.
We'll see where we end up there. But yeah, man, college basketball's heating up. It's been fun to do some bracketology here recently. A lot of Arkansas fans were peeing themselves.
It really hasn't been fun.
Yeah.
Every game, the whole thing changes.
But yeah, I was expecting to come out with that today. Unfortunately, didn't get to it. So, I mean, but then you have Tennessee, Alabama on Wednesday, which is going to switch things up a little bit. I'm hoping Tennessee can
put it before that,
pull things back together. Because two buzzer beater losses, absolutely
brutal. That's so terrible.
I was at Jim and Nick's for the last one.
Okay, don't do that. Yeah, Drew, we just can't hear you.
Okay, we're good though.
There we go.
Can the mic?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good. Yeah, I got you. I think.
Can you hear that?
No, I think it's computer audio, but.
Oh no. Okay, hold on.
It's loud. I was at church for the Vandy one. Hilarious. There was like 8 Tennessee fans around me. Got to just witness them losing. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so bad. I mean, if Santiago Vescovi knocks down a couple free throws, we may be in a different spot. I mean, it's just boneheadedness. It actually does suck as a Tennessee fan. In the first round, honestly, we could be this year's 2-5.
At least you'll be in it.
Yeah, Oklahoma's not going to be in it. So
we beat Bama and then lose like 7 straight. Makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, y'all really did play good against Brandon Miller and all those guys, and then came out and just whipped by everyone else. So that is a little weird. But let's talk about our trip to Orlando, Ben. We were in Orlando I guess I should say about 2 weeks ago. I'll drop a couple pics from the trip and see what I got. Boom, here we go. You actually
just in the background, so like really no one's.
You can't. I think I can move Ben out of the way. Oh, I see.
Dude,
I gotta.
you need to get your little audio together.
You can't hear me?
No, I couldn't hear the whole time.
Oh, I think it's because if you're not on the stream, then you can't
I,
hear. So like
I was freebirding it, so I
when
was
I
just gonna go for it.
when I was removed from the thing, you actually can't hear anything. So
Okay.
that was probably a little awkward. Might have to go back and cut that out. Um, but anyways, yeah, it was a really fun trip to Orlando. I thought maybe we were gonna hop on and do some stuff about rides. You know what rides we were feeling, what rides we weren't feeling, and stuff like that. So
really, there wasn't a ride we like weren't feeling though. Other than actually maybe one Rip Ride Rocket was
Fast and Furious and Men in Black.
Well, that's just like
no, those rides.
Yeah, those two were terrible. I honestly
horrible.
hated Rip Ride Rocket more than them though.
No,
just simply because I didn't have a headache after those. They were terrible, but I didn't have a headache.
It made me want to have a headache. It was terrible. They were horrible rides. Men in Black.
Men in Black was not that bad. You're just
you
didn't have the good experience.
I didn't have the good experience. We were all in a bundle trying to shoot aliens while spinning.
Okay, but yeah, I was going off.
It was so unoriginal. It was just. It wasn't for
like
me.
every ride ever, but
yeah, it was just. Anyways, it was a decent ride. No, it wasn't. It was bad. I mean, it was really bad. So I mean, good thing is we're back from Orlando safe and sound. It was actually a really fun trip. Ran into. Do we see anyone there? I feel like we saw someone.
Manny Diaz.
Oh, the legendary tennis coach at the University of Georgia was on our coach or our was he in first class?
Mm-mm.
He was and sitting in coach on Delta.
The players weren't. I don't know about him.
Yeah, I don't know where he was, but we ran into him. He's like number one. He's like the Nick Saban of tennis. So believe it, because we were there. It was very crazy. I thought about getting a picture, but I decided against that. So we don't have a picture of me and Manuel Diaz. I think that was his name. So we will see. Good luck to Georgia this season. In tennis. Ben?
Yeah.
Best ride there. What are you thinking?
Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster. Sure. How about ET? Sure. An absolute
ET is a classic.
ET was
every time I go there, I'm gonna have to ride ET like 8 times now.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be weird if I go again without you and Henry.
Yeah, like I don't know if the experience will be different or not, but
because I'm like, imagine staying at a different hotel and then like taking different ways to the park and stuff like that. It's just gonna feel weird. But yeah, I mean, it was really fun. Dinner and stuff. We went bowling a couple times. Henry was just lights out. Ben bowled a 43.
I don't even know how it's possible. I was actually
Ben bowled a 43. So
we won the same amount of games though. So
what did I don't think I bowled any. I might have bowled like an 89 the first time, but then I dialed in. I bowled like a 118, one of them, which is still terrible, but I mean it's like decent. I mean it's not.
We don't bowl though.
Yeah, I haven't bowled since.
I didn't touch a bowling ball since like.
I haven't bowled since we had a baseball game and your church had an event and we had to go to the church event. After it was like. You remember when we used to go to VBS back in the day?
Yeah.
And then they would have like the post VBS where you could like go do activities and stuff.
Yeah, plus.
Yeah, and we went bowling one time, but we couldn't stay because we had a Reds practice. And we went bowling for like 20 minutes. That's the last time I've been. So since I was like 11, I haven't been bowling. And Henry was pretty good. I
think that was like his first time bowling, and he was actually like good.
I know, he was locked in.
Or he was just lying to us. What if he was like.
I could definitely see him as like a full-time bowler. I feel like his
bowling team.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it's a grind to get better at bowling. I'll be on it though.
It really is.
I feel like I figured it out at the end. You gotta kind of let the wrist hang out there.
You really just kind of like don't think about it that much.
Yeah. And you just got to let it fly. Ben rolled
Once I started just letting it fly, I was doing way better.
The 43 contained like 11 or 12 gutter balls, I would say. I mean, it was brutal for Ben. I mean, you could see the passion leave his body once it went down. But Yeah, it was cool, man. The ET ride was sick. Velocicoaster, Hulk, and just getting to walk around and be with everybody was pretty cool. And be in Florida, obviously. Ben, we've got a podcast episode to get to. We haven't been on in a while. It's been a week or two, and we decided to come back with a bang. We're talking the futures of Oklahoma. We're talking the futures of Tennessee. Oklahoma has been what should I say, okayed to join the SEC as of 2024. Paid a little bit of moolah to get there just a bit early.
A little bit.
Yeah.
50 million.
Yeah, man. I mean, all in all, two really exciting teams going into next year. Two teams that could end up being 9-3, 10-2. I know a lot of people are talking about Oklahoma having a bounce back year. So, Ben, I'll leave it open to you. Who do you want to start with? Because the agony of Oklahoma of 6-6, hopefully they can bounce back. Do you want them to go first, or do you want to end on a high note with Oklahoma?
Are you talking about who we talk about first?
Yeah.
Really does not matter to me.
I'm gonna need you to pick, please.
First off, hold on, let me say something.
Okay.
These two teams were polled. We did not just pick it because they were our teams.
Yeah, that is true. We had UCLA and Arizona State, Colorado and Florida. That might be next. I don't know.
That one was next.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do next episode. I'll try and switch it up so it's just not like the same like content, just stripped of the two teams.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit. So we'll see what we do next episode. Probably we'll talk about March Madness. More than likely, we'll have a bracket guy on to discuss. So just a sneak peek. I don't know exactly who it's going to be, what we're going to talk about or whatever, but expect like a couple March Madness and college basketball episodes in the next couple of weeks and months as the tournament will start heating up and stuff like that. So expect that. We'll get back to the futures of teams later. I mean, we've got a ton of time this offseason before we get back to recruiting and, preseason and, I mean, spring camp and the reports coming out there will certainly be something to keep an eye out on this season of the year. But, Ben, let's talk Oklahoma first. Let's go to Norman. You can see DG behind Ben's head right here. That is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy leading you into battle this season. Let's talk about this past year, a 6-6 season. Obviously not exactly what you wanted. I think all of us, including Beatty, early on, when he was on the show, I think we all had him top 10 maybe in our preseason.
I mean, really, like he wasn't. I would give him top 15 quarterback last year.
Top 15 in the nation.
Yeah. If you can give me 15 guys you take over them, then I'll understand.
You think Will Levis is a top 15 quarterback in college football? Oh, excuse me, Dylan Gabriel.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Number 1, Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
Bo Nix, Drake May, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Okay.
You got Will Levis.
Well, the DTR is debatable. He was not that good either.
DTR is far better than Dylan Gabriel.
Okay, but in terms of like maybe wins, but stats, no.
I mean,
Dylan Gabriel's stats were so.
Dylan Gabriel threw for 3,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks.
And how many picks? Yeah, exactly. It wasn't that bad.
Horrendous season, actually. But I mean, I'm taking who else is out there? I'm definitely missing someone. You got Anthony Richardson. No, I'm not taking him.
You take Duggan.
Yeah, I take Duggan. I take Stetson Bennett probably. I take
maybe Quinn and him were kind of similar.
I'd take Quinn. I'd take Adrian Martinez.
Adrian Martinez didn't even play.
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah, that's true. He was hurt. I'll go take. I mean, honestly, he's really.
See? I'm saying he was. I think he was top 15.
I mean, okay, hold on.
I'd take Caleb Williams.
I'm taking CJ Stroud, taking Bryce Young. I'm taking Cam Rising. I'm taking Caleb Williams. I'm taking Michael Penix. I'm taking Jordan Travis. I'm taking Bo Nix. I'm taking Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I'm taking Quinn Ewers. I'm taking Will Rogers. I'm taking Devin Leary. I'm taking who else did we just talk about?
Cam Rising was literally worse than him in every stat, but okay.
Thinking Drake May. You don't think Cam Rising is objectively a better quarterback than what's his name?
At what?
Dylan Gabriel.
At what?
He's just a better. He's a more balanced quarterback. He's working with
How
better.
is he more balanced? That makes.
I mean, I guess Dylan Gabriel is the epitome of a balanced quarterback.
Not really.
Cam Rising,
he's really not the biggest runner, but
I mean, but
I would say that's like
I would say
Young.
I'd say they're pretty. Yeah, I mean, true. I think Dylan Gabriel. I mean, I just have a problem with Dylan Gabriel. I mean, you cannot sit there and tell me he didn't have problems last year.
Oh, for sure. But
bad. He wasn't bad. He was a below. He was an average.
It was not all him. I mean, we still scored like 35 points a game and only had 6 wins.
I mean, you look at the quarterbacks. I take JJ McCarthy over him too. You look at all the quarterbacks and all the weapons they had around him. It does. I mean, Jordan Travis.
For sure. No. Yeah, but
is debatably one of those guys who kind of did it without any tremendous weapons. I mean, but I mean, look at JJ McCarthy. He's got solid receivers. He's got Blake Corum. He's got a pretty good offensive line. Like Dylan Gabriel didn't really have all that. Theo Weiss never really panned out. Jadon Hazelwood, I mean, decent. Didn't really make as huge an impact as I would have expected, to be honest with you.
Hazelwood was at Arkansas, but
oh yeah, he did He went to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
He went with. Actually, he didn't even go with anybody.
I don't know. Anyways,
he left when Rattler left.
Still Oklahoma. Anyways, Marvin Mims. I mean, Marvin Mims had a tremendous year. Right?
He could have been better. He could have been so much better.
But,
if we had.
Past
Dylan Gabriel was better. Mims would have been.
You had 1,083 yards out of Marvin Mims this past season, and the next leading receiver, Braden Willis, is a tight end first of all, and only had 514 receiving yards. So, I mean, Theo Weiss, very underwhelming season.
He was also hurt for like 3 games though.
Who? Weiss?
No, Gabriel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know.
The Red River rivalry. We literally.
Davis Bevel stepped in the
47 passing yards.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, that is bad. Do you think you win that game?
In my life.
Do you think that you win that game with Dylan Gabriel?
No, I'm not going to say we were going to win it, but it wouldn't have been 49-0.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Gray, he's gone.
Phenomenal though.
Am I wrong? He's gone?
No, yeah, he's gone.
Wanye Morris is gone. Another Tennessee guy. And I mean,
Anton Harrison gone.
Yeah, just a lot of guys that. I mean, what is the expectation as an Oklahoma fan this year? Is it just bounce back, go 8-4-3, or is it make a New Year's 6? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's?
Oh no, for sure not New Year's 6. I'm not worried about that. Just let's focus on going above 500, and we'll go from there. But just getting as many wins as we can right now while we're still like trying to fix everything up. This last year, Dylan Gabriel, I don't really care what happens. As long as we don't know like 5 wins, but once we get JA in there, we might. I'm looking forward to it. But really, it wasn't really the offense. It was the defense that I would like to see better from, because we're finally replacing all of Lincoln Riley's speed D players, which is clearly working out at USC. And you're getting like the Venables, like hard nosed defense. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean. Honestly, I mean, you got Key Lawrence in there. Had a pretty good year. Familiar with him over at Tennessee.
Tennessee transfer, yeah. There you go.
We talked about it with Tyler McComas, and it was just getting pressure on the quarterback was a problem.
Oh, for sure.
Getting sacks, getting to the quarterback and stuff like that was a problem.
Our freshmen coming in will probably have an impact. Peyton Bowen, PJ Adebawore.
PJ Adebawore is a demon.
He's a dog, yeah.
Absolute
so
dog
for that. Peyton Bowen, I want to see them get PT. I think they will. And so these freshmen coming in, I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. What is y'all's class at right now? Because it's
I think we're 4.
Yeah, it's up there. So, I mean, the 4th overall recruiting class. You got guys around On the defensive end of the ball, I mean, this season, honestly, I think defensively you take a huge step in the right direction. We talked about those guys, and PJ Adebawore, Peyton Bowen, and guys like that. I mean, you got Billy Bowman returning in the secondary. He's only a sophomore, and I mean, your leading interception getter in CJ Colton is gone as a senior. So a lot of things to replace defensively. I think you're set defensively, to be completely honest with you. I think defensively you have a better season than you did last year. I think Venables taking a right step in the recruiting direction there. Offensively, I mean, I don't really know where the production is going to come from, right? Dylan Gabriel obviously is going to be the captain of that offense. He's going to be a senior next season. But Eric Gray's gone. I mean, I guess Javante Barnes is the guy that's going to step up, a true freshman.
Yeah. Well, I will say in the Cheez-It Bowl, we were switching out these two freshman halfbacks, Javante Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk. Both ran for 100 yards that game. So the rushing game looks like it's going in good hands. The receiving, Farouk definitely needs to take a step up. I mean, every pass I was throwing to him looked like a drop. So you were kind of worried about that. He's great though, and a lot of upside. And now we got to get these like freshmen, like Jaden Gibson, who's like a 6'5" guy. Just get the freshmen who were freshmen last year, get them more PT, and we'll see what happens.
Jalil Farouk, 407 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's going to probably be wide receiver 1 next year.
He will be, yeah.
So he's going to have to be a guy who 400 yards for wide receiver 1 probably is not going to work. I hate to say it, but it's just not going to happen.
That's definitely true.
Is Austin Stogner's returning?
He is back. Yes, he is back.
Okay, so that's a huge receiving threat at tight end already. Mm-hmm. He had a good season.
We needed that too because Braden Willis is gone.
Yeah, so huge step in the right direction offensively and defensively. You know what? Let's talk about the losses and let's see if they're expected wins next season for conference games. Obviously, you're not going to play UTEP, Kansas State, stuff like that again. Kansas State, right? A 41-34 loss this season. Deuce Vaughn is declared for the draft, but you're bringing back Adrian Martinez more than likely. And if not, you've got a guy in Will Howard who's an absolute beast. So, I mean,
we do not play them. So
you don't play K-State?
We do not play K-State. No.
Okay. All right.
It's a miracle.
TCU. Do y'all have TCU?
Pretty sure.
TCU, is that a win?
Yeah, I'd say so.
This is the game that I'm talking about.
I do kind of worry. It's Chandler Morris, like revenge game.
Yeah. So
he'll be. I guess I don't know if he's like a junior, senior at this point. I think he's a junior probably next year.
Yeah.
But he's good. He transferred out of OU, so I remember him, and he's good. So that is something to worry about. But I think it should be a win.
And these are the games that I'm talking about. Against TCU, Dylan Gabriel was 7 for 16, 126 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
He got hurt.
Sacked once. But then, you're right, Davis Bevel came in. I mean,
because that was when he slid and
and then he got
TCU smoked him when he slid.
That's the same game that Max Duggan got.
Yeah, it was like a 70-yard touchdown.
Run. But Davis Bevel was 7 for 16, 50 yards and no touchdowns. So
there's a scratch on my phone from that game.
If I'm Davis Bevel, I'm probably getting out. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Arnold coming in.
Not getting PT.
It's going to be tough to get. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get playing time. Well, I'm saying for Jackson Arnold's sophomore season or redshirt freshman season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not going to be too pretty. Texas, you're getting back to Texas this season. Have you seen that wild picture of somebody on your team?
I have.
Bro, that is so out of pocket. What is his name? Eaton Booty.
It's Nick. I think it's either Josh Eaton or Nick Eaton.
That could get so out of hand.
Pretty sure he transferred, but.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I forgot y'all got Andrell Anthony this season.
We also got
over from Michigan.
Dason McCullough and his brother. Dason McCullough is really good for Indiana, so I'm looking forward to him on defense.
Okay, yeah, it's big.
And yeah, Andrell Anthony, he's like a 2 or 3. I think maybe because he has more experience than any other guy on our team, but Farouk will be the one. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. And I can't find the guy whose last name is Eden, but I can
It's
find
Joshua Eaton.
General Booty, the sophomore.
Joshua Eaton, I guess he is still here. He is still at OU. Or no, he's not. See, he's not. I'm pretty sure he transferred to he's playing at Texas State. So I guess he's going more hometown.
Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, lots of Texas lost to Baylor, lost to West Virginia and Texas Tech. I mean, you would assume West Virginia and Texas Tech are wins next season.
I don't know. That freshman for West Virginia killed us, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, JT Daniels is gone. I don't really think I think Garrett Green is his name. Yeah, Garrett. Wow, what a call! What a call! I wasn't even looking at the roster until now.
I knew there was 2 G's. I just didn't know what it was.
And then, I mean, who even beat y'all this game? CJ Donaldson didn't even play.
Who?
For West Virginia.
Yeah, it was Garrett Green.
Y'all got torched, but CJ Donaldson didn't even play against y'all.
No.
He is that true freshman, though, and he is nasty. So we'll see. He did. He had 7 carries, 87 yards. I'm blind. Anyways, I mean, overall, Oklahoma, Oklahoma's a team that needs to take a step in the right direction. I'll pose this question to you, Ben.
Right.
After a 6-6 season, Brent Venables is coming back. You've got your coordinators coming back. You've got all this, and the expectations have got to be higher this season, I would say.
For sure.
What's the bar where if Brent Venables has this kind of season, it's time for him to go?
I would say 7 wins, and they're thinking about it. 6 wins, and he's probably gone. 7 wins, they're thinking about it. Anything above that, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right with it.
So if he goes 7-5,
it's a thought. I doubt it really, because like what we always said, he's changing the whole culture. So you got to give him a few years.
For sure.
But another 6-6, and he might be out of there.
Yeah, I mean a 6-6, and he could be fired. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Hot take there, but I guess Oklahoma is expecting good seasons.
I don't want to go 6-6 going into the SEC.
That is true. I guess. I wonder if what is
Jackson Arnold's first 3 year will be against SEC teams.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, he's gonna have to be against. Yeah, he's gonna be in there against Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia.
Have they confirmed what they're doing with the SEC?
No, I'm not completely sure because I've seen a lot of hypothetical stuff. But
I've seen our pod, and our pod is bad. So
who is it?
I think it's us, Texas, Arkansas, and then Missouri or something.
I mean, that's not great. Brady Cook's gonna be an absolute demon coming up.
He's someone that would cook us up. So if he'd be gone by the time we get, is he a senior or is he a junior this year?
Pretty sure Brady Cook was a sophomore this season,
meaning he's a junior next year, yeah.
And then a senior the year that y'all come. So,
right.
But yeah, he is a sophomore. Yeah, I'm right. So,
yeah,
he'll be there. I'm trying to add there's a way that looks so. What the heck is that? There's a way you can do that right there. And I was watching a podcast, and I cannot remember what the name of it is. Eye on College Basketball, and they were throwing up something right here.
Yeah.
And it was looking pretty good, but I can't figure out how to do it. I'm not that savvy, and unfortunately, it just looks like it's not going to happen. So let's. You have any last thoughts on Oklahoma? Anything else you want to add on about the Sooners in Norman, or we're going to go to the checkerboards, man?
Yeah, I have faith in Venables. That's all I gotta say.
You got faith in Lebby, Jeff Lebby?
We'll see.
He showed loyalty coming back.
He did. Bama was had me a bit worried.
And then,
but really, like, the main problem with that would have been, did Jackson Arnold come to Oklahoma for Lebby? Which that was what had me more worried than just Lebby. But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and was that the problem with what was the problem with Dart? Why did Dart end up leaving?
Because Gabriel committed before him.
I got it. Okay, yeah. So I mean,
And then Dart was like, at Ole Miss, he had the automatic starting job, so why not go there?
Yeah, no, well, now he doesn't because they've got Walker Howard and Spencer Sanders over there just clogging.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know it is weird.
Spencer Sanders, that's one of the strangest moves we might ever see.
I know. I don't know. I feel like as a senior, you kind of got to prove yourself. You want to go to the draft. You want to, be able to. I just feel like you should go somewhere like.
This is a year that he needs to go to, like, where would he even go?
I know. I'm trying to think of somewhere that like needs a quarterback. Yeah, Stanford. But I guess like the academic stuff there.
BYU.
Yeah, BYU. They got Caden Slovis. So I mean, it's just like.
Oh, well, you can beat him. I'd rather be in a battle with him than Dart.
And the way that
and Walker
Kiffin loves Dart, like it's going to be tough to beat him out. But
yeah,
Ole Miss is nasty. I mean, you got Kinshad Judkins returning.
That is a team that future I would talk about.
Yeah. So we might talk about Ole Miss. I kind of let them slide. I'll never forget the time that we were on the show and the news broke that quote Lane Kiffin was going to frickin' Ole Miss,
to Auburn,
and then we just got totally bamboozled. So I'll never forget that. That was quite the time because we got totally flabbergasted by John Sokoloff on Twitter, and that wasn't too good. But Oklahoma. Ben, what's the ceiling? What's the floor? We'll probably revisit ceiling and floors and stuff and expectations as we get more toward like the July and August time. But as just kind of like a raw prediction in February, kind of coming off this season, heading into spring games and stuff like that. What's the prediction? Or I guess the floor and the ceiling.
I don't know. Ceiling, I would say, is 10-2 probably. I wouldn't expect to see anything better than that. But floor, it's really between 7-5 and like 6-6. 6-6 makes it kind of like a wide gap there. So I might say 7-5, but just because I think that we're taking steps up from last year.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree somewhere around that. I mean, I think you start the season with Butch Jones, my boy. Not really actually. But Arkansas State, and you got SMU. Those 2 home games to start. Tanner Mordecai is not at SMU, so you won't be facing him, but that would have been a cool storyline, I guess. Then you got Tulsa and Cincinnati, back-to-back away games in the American Athletic. And then you got Iowa State and Texas.
Like our schedule is kind of easy.
I'm an idiot. The AAC is merging with the Big 10 this year, or the Big 12 this year, right?
Yeah, like Houston.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Well, it's not the full AAC.
I know, but I'm saying like those teams are coming over.
Cincy, Houston, UCF.
I read Cincy as an out-of-conference game, and I was like, wait, why is UCF? I'm an idiot. And then you got BYU.
Yeah. Oh, BYU is too.
Yeah, so anyways, yeah, I mean.
All those teams are like losing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So like really like I'm fine with it. Except John Reese Plumbing, UCF is a team that could be good next year.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe UCF, Ole Miss combined. That would be a fun episode. I feel like they're new on the scene teams.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben, I want to talk to you about one last thing before we get on to Tennessee.
All right.
The defensive coordinator at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Ted Roof. Now.
Yeah.
Do you think the problem with the defense last season was Ted Roof, Brent Venables, the players, the schemes? Well, what did you see? Because his head coaching record 6-45. He was a pretty mid to bad defensive coordinator at Vanderbilt. I remember him from Vanderbilt in that COVID season.
Yeah.
And then that staff got rolled out, and then he went to Clemson, and now he's in Oklahoma. And I don't know. I mean, he coached at Duke, he coached at UCF, Penn State. He's kind of been around and kind of just been there, right? So he's not terrible.
That's really what he.
But
that's really what he does for us.
Yeah.
Because Venables coming in, he brought Ted Roof with him, and it's more like Venables is the defensive coordinator, but Ted Roof has the title. It's really like who's calling the defensive plays? It's Venables. But I guess him and Ted Roof kind of combine on that. Really, I feel like last year was a mixture of all both. Like, I really do not want to see 3-man fronts anymore when we already couldn't get pass rush. But it was something where
y'all got the edges to compete with the 4-3 now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to see if PJ Adebawore, your edges that you landed in this year's class, can, I guess, kind of play like the outside linebacker rush spot. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we haven't had somebody who could do that in a while. So
that's what I'm
that
saying.
would be nice.
You're not like, I feel like
couldn't even name.
You've got like a 3-4, and you don't really have anyone who's been able to, like, you know what I'm saying, like get the pressure, and it's just.
No, I got you.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Give the quarterback too much time.
Phil Picciotti from IMG, the 3-star linebacker, is committed. Ashton Sanders, the 3-star defensive lineman, has committed. Y'all got PJ Adebawore, the edge, who has committed. Derek LeBlanc out of Florida has committed as well. So a lot of dudes on the defensive side of the ball that you got to commit, and a big recruiting class, top 5, like you said, Ben. So Oklahoma, fun team heading into 2023. Anything to wrap that up before we get to Knoxville, Tennessee?
I'm good.
Let's get to the Vols. Tennessee finished this season 11-2, an Orange Bowl victory against Clemson to cap off the season against Cade Klubnik, Will Shipley, the Tigers. Big season from Tennessee this year. Hendon Hooker and company could not make the playoff. It was right there for the taking. It was like
South Carolina, man.
It was a wide open court for a layup, and you slip, and then the whole team somehow like gets dismantled. And that's kind of what it was like against South Carolina. Hendon Hooker gets injured. We lose by 25 points on the road against a team that we should have probably beat up pretty good. And gladly, we spanked Vandy the next game with Joe Milton. Joe Milton took us to an Orange Bowl victory, and the future looked brighter with Mr. Joseph next season. But I will say I'm a little concerned for him, and I'm a little concerned for Nico Iamaleavela because
Are we sure we're saying that right?
No, but I mean, if you say with confidence, maybe it just sounds.
There was confidence. I trusted it when you said that.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, you know what you're talking about, and then somebody's be like, "Oh, so that's
how." I feel like it's like Iamaleava or something.
Iamaleavela. Okay,
Iamaleavela. Not right.
Nico, I'm gonna just call him Nico. Nico, Nico is kind of the future, I guess you could call him. But I mean, the thing about Tennessee is we've got our whole run game coming back basically, and that's kind of the only reason I'm not too scared. The defense still sucks absolute freaking eggs, dude. It's bad. So Tim Banks needs to get it fixed.
He's good.
He's in the hot seat. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not Tim Banks.
He's our defensive coordinator. Our defensive line coach, Coach Gardner, is a legend.
You have like a linebacker whose last name is Banks.
Jeremy Banks.
There we go. He's good.
Yeah, Jeremy Banks is good. He caused a little bit of a scene, I think, in the locker room that no one really heard about late in the season.
I did hear about that. Yeah, when Hendon Hooker had to say something to him
on the H. He like stepped on the T, and then Hendon Hooker like pushed him, and something like that. But anyways, I mean, Joe Milton in the games he played, 970 yards, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The overthrows were there. Like, I'm not going to lie. The overthrows were there. But, I mean, look.
You can't expect him to be perfect.
Right. And, I mean, Jalen Wright is a sophomore. He will be back. Jabari Small is a junior. He will be back. Dylan Sampson. Once those two guys are gone, Dylan Sampson's going to be the guy that's going to step up, and he was really entertaining in the time he got. And, I mean, look, Jalen Hyde's gone. That is true. But Squirrel White, Brew McCoy and guys like that, those are going to be the guys who are forced to step up next season. Jacob Warren, the tight end, is returning for what feels like his 19th year in college, but I'll take it, So running back game is pretty good. Defensively, I'm scared. We're losing guys like Jeremy Banks. He didn't even play in our bowl game, and it showed. We're losing guys like Trayvon Flowers, Kamal Haddon.
Aaron Beasley
is a junior. Aaron Beasley's coming back.
He's coming back? Oh, that's
believe
somebody y'all could use for sure.
He's a senior, but I'm almost positive. Hold on. Let me make sure on that. Because he is a senior, but
he has eligibility, He'll return. Yeah, he's coming back. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was almost positive about that. So,
that's
out wide, it would have been good to have Walker Merrill back. He didn't get a ton of playing time. He's just like a small white dude from around here in Nashville. And he would have probably had a role, but he transferred to Wake Forest. So we won't have him. And it's going to be tough out wide, right? Brew McCoy as wide receiver 1 is, I'm not going to lie, a little bit scary. Squirrel White, it's just so rough. Jimmy Holiday, our kind of return guy and like wide receiver 4 or 5. Sometimes we saw him in the slot. He transferred to Western Kentucky. So, it really is going to be a grind. We had a lot of guys transfer, and so it's going to have to be someone step up next year. Ben, but from an outsider perspective, what did you see here in 2022? What are you expecting in 2023? And just kind of your overall thoughts on the program.
Well, what I saw was a top-ranked offense with no problems, no holes. And this year, I would hope to see the same, but we saw Joe Milton. He was perfectly fine without Hyatt and Tillman, but if he can keep that up, with not the equally amazing weapons that he had, if they can keep that up, and really they needed that top offense with how bad of a defense y'all had. So if they can keep that up, and the offense can help you guys win the games you have to.
It's a risky style of ball. It definitely is, because if your offense isn't good enough to cover the behind of your terrible defense, you're just going to get cooked. Like, it's not really if you have a bad offense in this scheme, you're just going to lose every game like 42-25, 24 or whatever, because you can't keep up. But Joe Milton, I think he's got an explosive enough arm. I like what I see out of Joe Milton in the bowl game. He actually did play pretty good. A couple overthrows. He's got an absolute rocket. So it's gonna be weird, right? It's gonna be weird not seeing Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman, and guys like that. We got a 10th overall recruiting class ranking. Nico, obviously,
not the third bad at
all, via 24/7, but Nathan Leacock, out of North Carolina, is a true freshman. He's a 4-star receiver. Guys like that. Those are going to be the guys that we're going to have to get in the system as fast as we can.
Yeah.
We need receivers. Yeah. We need guys making an impact. And we need guys. And I'm trying to – Dante Thornton as well.
You got him from Oregon.
Yeah, immediate impact guy. And I'm really glad. I'm really happy with the transfers we got, because our transfer class isn't really like it's going to jump off the page at you, right? It's 35th, which is fine, right? I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
But we get an offensive tackle transfer from Texas who was a 4-star. We get a linebacker transfer from BYU who is a 4-star. We get an offensive tackle transfer from Miami who is a 3-star. A cornerback from BYU who I think I'm almost positive played for Vanderbilt. He went to BYU. Now he's back at Tennessee. A defensive lineman 4-star from Arizona State. Just a lot of guys like that who are going to be able to get who are going to be solid, not unbelievable, but solid enough to kind of get through this season until we can allow guys to develop. And that's kind of what I'm excited about. So it was a fun year this year. Do I think we're going to go 10-2 again next year? Likely shot that it's not going to happen. But do I think we can go 9-3, 8-4, something like that? Yeah. The only reason I'm a little skeptical to say we can't go 10-2 is because I was expecting 8-4, 9-3, and then we ended up seeing a couple guys pop off and we ended up winning 11 games. But again, that's something you're not going to see every year. You're not going to see Hendon Hooker have a season like that. So it's going to be tough. I mean, honestly, I'm not really like riding easy about the schedule this year because we start off with Virginia.
Yeah.
Not great football team, but I mean, they're a Power 5 opponent.
It's
They
losable.
can fight you just straight out of the gate, right? Austin Peay should be a win. Then we got Florida. I mean, a team that's probably going to be terrible next season without Anthony Richardson, Jalen Kitna. Like, you're going to have to find someone who can step in and play quarterback. The receivers are bad. They're losing a couple pieces on defense, so that could be a nasty, dirty, like 23-8, 16 game or something like that.
Yeah.
If we can't get the offense going. UTSA scares me. First ever meeting at home in Knoxville. I want to go.
Wait, UTSA?
Yep, they're a team that I'm not gonna lie, they scare me. Frank Harris out there slinging it around. But I think honestly, it's a great first 4 games to prepare our defense for the SEC schedule. UTSA, not a tremendous offense, but pretty good. You're going to get your defense in tune. Your corners are going to see D1 level receivers. Talk about Florida, kind of the same. They're not going to absolutely torch you with talent like Georgia, Alabama, LSU, guys like that. But they're going to bring some talent. Austin Peay, Virginia, kind of the same thing. And then we got South Carolina revenge game the 30th, and Texas A&M this year. Then we got Alabama, Kentucky, UConn. Nothing to be said there. Missouri, Georgia, and Vanderbilt to end off the season. So it's not really easy going. I'm more scared about Missouri this year, just biting us out of nowhere than kind of anything. Luther Burden gets another year to develop. Brady Cook, the same thing. I think they could be a 7-5 or 8-4 team. I'm sure we'll talk about SEC expectations, and I'm going to be higher on them this year than I was last year coming into the season. But look, I mean, it's a rigorous schedule. It's the SEC, so I mean, you can't really expect much less. But I mean, it's always scary. It's always scary. I feel like playing a good team that has one down year and then you play in the year after. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just feels like they could just either beat the crap out of you or you can beat the crap out of them. So it's kind of like a toss-up. A&M's one of those teams. Connor Wigman could be an absolute beast or they could be bad again. So I don't really know what to expect from them. Ben, I'll give you your thoughts on Tennessee because it's going to be a fun year, and it's going to show if Heupel deserved that whatever he got 9-10 year extension because that was bold.
I still would be, if I was a Tennessee fan, I'd be perfectly fine with that. As of so far, I mean, there's nothing other than defensive side of the ball, which he's still right now. You're getting perfectly fine defensive recruits. Like you said, like number 10 nation or number 10 class in the nation. I mean, you're bringing in new guys that will be better than what they were in the past. So I mean, it's really like this is a kind of a weird year for y'all, where it's kind of like we don't really know what the weapons we have or if they're like ready or not in like terms of receiving, I guess, because running back y'all are fine.
And defensively in the secondary is kind of the same thing.
Yeah. But it's really like recreating what happened this year, I don't think would be your main focus, but more as win the games you're supposed to win. Like you said, like A&M, you hope that's a win. UTSA, hope that's a win. Virginia, hope that's a win. Florida, you have to win those games, and then you can worry about like beating Bama and beating Georgia.
Yeah, and I mean, if you start off this season, I think it was like 6-0. You're kind of set up to go 9-3 or 8-4. We're probably, if I'm being honest, we'll see who Alabama rolls out at quarterback. Probably maybe Ty Simpson. That's maybe a loss. Like Georgia again, maybe a loss. Like it's just going to be a lot. But I mean, you beat Virginia, Austin Peay, Florida, UTSA, South Carolina, and A&M. Start the season off hot. You beat teams that are pretty good. Go undefeated in SEC play to start off the season. I think you're sitting in a spot where then you take on Alabama that next week, and it's possible you just get the doors blown off you. But, I mean, the thing is, this could be another year where it's kind of going to be solidifying yourself as a good team for the next couple of years. So you're not probably going to go 10-2 again. You're probably not going to go 12-0, make the playoff, go 11-1, and be good enough to compete for the SEC championship this year. Then again, Georgia could have a down year without Stetson Bennett and a couple receivers. A.D. Mitchell transferred. So a lot of things are up in the air in the SEC, and it's one of those years where you don't know what to expect, right? The first 2 years of that Georgia-Alabama quarterback saga where Bryce Young's going to be a beast, Stetson Bennett's going to be a beast. You have these guys for
Alabama. Chance. Yeah.
You already know what to expect. This year, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it's a quarterback competition in Georgia. You're going to have to see who's going to step up at receiver. You got Dominic Lovett, Ra Thomas, and guys like that who have transferred in. So it's going to be for receiver playing time and stuff like that. So for Tennessee, solidify yourself as a good team. Go 8-4, 9-3, win your bowl game. Maybe win 10 games this season once again. Go 10-3. Then keep adding on. Develop Nico this season. Have him ready to play next year. Probably redshirt him. That would be ideal. And then, I mean, honestly, he needs to be a quarterback who only goes his junior year. I would be completely fine with him leaving. I'd be completely fine with him leaving if he's a guy who ends up leaving early because he's too good to go to the draft. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on Tennessee. I think Ben's dropped off the call. He's back though. Ben's back. Dropped off the call. But he's back.
There we go.
He's horrified. You can see the look on his face.
I don't know what happened. You wigged out, and I was just kicked.
But no, yeah, Tennessee, excited for the future. Ben, I'll give you your last 2 cents, and then we can end this one off right. A shorter episode, and this is kind of the time frame I'm looking for as we go down the off season.
The off season, yeah. Well, I really this year. In terms of Tennessee, I'm definitely gonna watch your games, but I'm in terms of as an outside fan, I'm really looking forward to the next few years for y'all. Nico comes in, Heupel's working that offense. I think that could be really exciting and fun to watch. But even so, this year with Joe Milton's arm and just what y'all can do, you're a fun team to watch no matter what. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
Yeah, really prepared for a good season this year. I think the biggest fear for me, at least, is just totally being a bust. And Joe Milton has a pretty bad year, and you win 6 games. You lose to Florida A, and it's everything burst at the seams, and you end up falling apart.
It just didn't matter.
Yeah. Do I think that'll happen? Probably not, honestly. I think Heupel's got a good enough reign of the program. I think Joe Milton's got enough experience, and I think you got weapons out wide like Brew McCoy. He's been through it. Squirrel White's got speed. He's been in the program for a couple of years, and your running backs are experienced too. Going to be the defense. So Tim Banks and company need to get that pulled together. But Ben, any last objections? We're sitting at about 53 minutes, so honestly not terrible. Off-season episode. So we're kind of riding into that mark. So it's going to be a tough week of no college football once again. I think it's 200 days. We didn't really talk about the Super Bowl. Any takeaways? Your boy Jalen Hurts could not pull it out.
Okay, don't blame that on Jalen Hurts, man.
He did fumble the game away. I mean, I'm not going to lie. If he doesn't
you
fumble,
can say that. He had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, he was good enough to win the game if he doesn't fumble, right?
What did that Tennessee player do in the Super Bowl? Nothing.
Which one? Trey Smith, absolute demon up front for the Chiefs.
He actually is good. A lot of sacks actually is very good. But there was a no-you guy on that line, too.
Creed Humphrey was up
2
there
of
as
them.
well.
Yeah, 2 of them.
I love Creed
Orlando
Humphrey.
Brown.
Yeah. Creed Humphrey's cool. So, I mean, overall, pretty good Super Bowl. I would have liked to see the Chiefs get held right there, kick a field goal, and then give the Eagles a chance. And
it was a flag.
It was.
I hate that it came down to that flag.
Listen,
I hate that it came down to that.
Yeah, but I mean, James Bradbury IV himself literally said, "I held him."
But I just watched that whole game for the refs to decide it.
Yeah,
I could have just watched that last 4 seconds and been well, okay.
Yeah, it's true. But overall, pretty good Super Bowl. Better than the Rams and Patriots the other year.
For sure. It was watchable. It was watchable.
Yeah. The scoreboard was not, honestly.
I hated that.
Blow my eyes out.
Immediately once I saw it, I had to text Drew. I was like, this scoreboard is terrible.
It was horrible. It was bad. And the halftime performance was not horrible. I feel like Rihanna, everyone's talking about how she's pregnant. She's
pregnant. I mean, it was quite obvious, but
we're not a gossip pod, so I don't know.
They did confirm it. But
okay. And I was at a Super Bowl party. I was at a Super Bowl party with my girlfriend and a bunch of couples from like her church. And so they're all like 25, 26. And so one of the ladies, right? So there was one couple and they were like your classic like sports bar couple, right? Dude's like 6'2", got a beard, wearing jeans, bandy cap. He knows what he's talking about, all right?
The girl asked some other questions, you know.
Right. He's one of the guys who's like trying to tell you that he knows what he's talking about. So like every time somebody gets tackled, he's like, "Oh, it's Sky Moore." Like, I know it's Sky Moore, buddy. I know. But the other guy there was an oddball. He was weird. I'm not gonna lie, he was weird.
He's like listening. He's like, oh, maybe I should listen to one or two.
Yeah, I doubt it. I really do. If you're listening, I think his name is Josh. If you're listening, no hard feelings, buddy. His girlfriend, they were both, I think his wife, they had Google Pixels. They were just kind of that group, you know. It was just, yeah. And so she's like the other lady that's like the normal couple with the dude. All right, they're talking about what are they? Rihanna's like baby daddy, right? And it's A$AP Rocky, the rapper. Okay, that was like 3 minutes ago. We get to the next, and the lady reads off her phone, and she picks up her phone. She's like, it says Rihanna's baby daddy is A$AP Rocky. And I was like, oh my, it was so bad. It was bad. And it was just the whole time, like the guy, it was just weird. But other than that, I mean, it was cool. They had like Philly cheesesteaks and stuff. So it was really fun to be over there. They're all Eagles fans. So unfortunately that didn't really pan out like they wanted it to, but yeah, I mean, it was fun, but definitely some oddballs that you see every now and again, especially at Universal and Disney World.
Oh,
it's weird. It gets weird.
That one was, yeah.
The public display of affection there is like, if I could rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, it would be like a 11. Like, it was bad. It would get bad.
It was bad.
But man, great episode 32. We will be back. Episode 33, probably going to be February the 20th. So we'll be back next week. We'll figure out what to talk about. Probably some college basketball talk. Probably 2 or 3 college basketball episodes just to hold us over until we talk more college football. Ben, Valentine's Day tomorrow. What are you doing?
Going to school and doing nothing. I don't have like
getting the job done.
We should really be asking you.
All right,
you getting anything nice?
Picking a girlfriend up from her house. Think I'm gonna bring her a drink from Dunkin' Donuts, but like I don't really know yet. It's gonna be early. I have morning. Oh, that's
you can't make her go like wake up. Yeah, go to school at like 5:30.
I have to be at the school early tomorrow. That's gonna be all right. Anyways, plan just got derailed, Ben. Right live on air, so we'll decide. We'll see what goes on. But yeah, it'll be fun. When's
your next basketball game?
We got
is it district or do you have one more?
Yeah, district semifinals on Friday. District championship.
Like during school?
No. It's at like hold on, I got the.
I know it's here. So
it is at 7 p.m. on Friday and then 7:30 on Saturday.
All right, well, we'll be there.
Yeah, so wish us all luck. Episode 32 is a wrap. Oklahoma and Tennessee. The future of the program, Nico Imaliavella, Jackson Arnold, 2 guys coming in, the young guns. And make sure to follow our socials, follow our Twitter, Instagram. We got a TikTok. Make sure to go follow us over there and check out the content. All the socials are above you if you're watching. And if you're listening, make sure to check the description because they'll be listed there as well. Ben, great episode 32. Great to be back after a nice little vacation to Orlando and in a week off with the Super Bowl and all that stuff going down. So any objections before we end it off?
No, I'm good.
Episode 32 is a wrap. Episode 33, same time, same place next week. Make sure to follow our socials. See you, boys.